Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how I make these bibs out of washcloths. And so the things that you will need are washcloths. Depending on how thick they are, you'll need either one or two. I'm using two because I'm using the really cheap ones from Walmart. And I'm using two different colors because I think that's fun. And you'll also need bias tape. I'm using the extra wide double fold one, so it looks like that when it's opened up. Folded twice. And then you'll also need your basic sewing things: machine, thread, pins, and scissors. So to get started, I like to cut out the tags. Especially if I was only doing one thickness, I would want to do that, just because I think it would look nicer. When you're doing a double thickness, it's not that big a deal, although you'd probably want to put them on the inside like this. But the first thing you want to do is just put your washcloths together. These ones are really cheap, so they're not going to line up perfectly, but that's okay. And then I'm going to just fold it in half so I can cut out the neck hole. And I don't actually measure mine, I just kind of cut one of them. I liked it, so I used my old one as a template. Just kind of lay it on top there and start cutting. Oh, I'm going to do it on the other side. This. Be super careful not to cut the already made one if you are doing that. I just throw these pieces away. Okay. Open it back up. Realign it a little bit because it probably got messed up. And then you can start sewing. So I like to get it really close to the edge just because I do. So I'm going to line it up. Sorry, really hard to do this one-handed. I don't have a camera person. Do a back stitch and keep sewing. I always end up having to keep realigning it as I'm sewing. If you want to pin it first, that would probably reduce how much you have to do that. I'm too lazy to pin it though, so I just kind of fiddle with it as I go. Okay. Snip it off. Cut off these extra threads over here. Okay. Now you can see that the neckline got a little skewed because I cut them while they were together. That's okay. I'm just going to trim it so that when I put the bias tape on, the seam will catch both layers. Okay. For the bias tape, I'm using 1 yard of it, mostly just because I was lazy and just bought a 3-yard thing and cut it in thirds. The first thing I do with the bias tape is I find the middle. There's the middle. Keep a hold of it. I'm not super picky about being exactly in the middle, so whatever. And then I just put it on the middle of the neck hole. So I have it like this, and then I just fold it up over the top, like that, and I'm going to put a pin in right there. And then I just put a few more pins in. I usually end up with 5 pins total. Kind of tricky because the neck hole is curved and the bias tape is not, but just kind of fiddle with it and make it work. Okay, this is what it looks like pinned. I didn't manage to catch the bias tape in twice. That's okay. Probably would be easier if I had, but oh well. So now what I do with the bias tape is I open it up halfway, and I just fold the top under a little bit. I don't know exactly how much, probably 1/8 of an inch. And then I fold it back up just to make a nice folded edge on the top instead of just a cut one. And then carefully stick it under the presser foot, holding that folded edge, because at least for me, I wouldn't be able to get a pin in there without bending it with the presser foot. So stick it right on the edge. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. Right there. Okay, once I have about this much of the bias tape left, I'll open up this end and do the foldy thing just like I did on the first end. So we have a nice clean edge. Okay, and just kind of hold it. Okay, just gotta cut off all our excess thread. And there you have it. Simple as that, and pretty cheap too. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or comments or anything you want to say, really. Thanks for watching.